Hey there guys, CrossFlux here, and welcome to my next Let's Play of CookieRun OvenBreak. Wait, what's that? You've never heard of this game? Well, honestly it's not that surprising, since it is indeed a mobile game, you know, for Android, iOS, that kind of stuff. Very strange choice for my channel, considering the other types of games that I've Let's Played already. And I certainly never saw myself Let's Playing a mobile game when I started the channel. In general, I'm not a big fan of mobile games, but this one really surprised me. And as we go through the Let's Play and I share my thoughts on the game, I think you'll see why. But I just love the really cute aesthetic. It's an endless runner type game, kind of like Temple Run or Super Mario Run, stuff like that. But you're little sentient cookies, so I mean, how cute is that? So, I do apologize ahead of time if I'm going to have to cut out weird loading times and stuff like that. Obviously, emulating a mobile device on a computer can be a bit tricky. So, stuff like this just long black screen, I'll be cutting stuff like that out in the future. But anyways, let's get on with it. So, here we are introduced to the character of GingerBrave, or sometimes people refer to him as Brave Cookie. He's more or less the mascot and main character of the game. And see, that's one thing I really like about CookieRun. It has a legitimate story and stuff like that. The multiplayer is still a great part of the game. It's what they focus on more. But the story is definitely not forgotten. Sometimes when you boot up the game for the first time, you have like a little tutorial cutscene, but it's really short and it's something that I can explain for myself. I'm not really able to create a new account at the moment, so I'm not going to be able to show that off, but I will show off the more or less tutorial stage of the game, and we'll do that by coming to a cookie trial. This is kind of like an individual stage for a particular cookie, and so what better sense to do than the main character himself, GingerBrave. So, his special ability is to double jump and slide. Spoiler alert, that's not that special. Literally every cookie in the game can do this. They just want to make GingerBrave sound more special than he really is. He is also known as, in my opinion, Bland Cookie, because there is nothing special about him. But let's see what his story has to say. GingerBrave was the first cookie to escape from the witch's oven. It is unknown how this cookie came to life, but rumor has it that the witch accidentally used magic powder instead of ginger powder. Whoops. That seems a little unfortunate for GingerBrave, being born into a burning up hot oven. But that actually ties into the story of this game. Basically, it's about all these different cookies trying to escape from the witch's oven. And different story arcs have come out since then, but that's basically the main story to the game. And so in addition to a cookie, you also have a pet that you run with. And each cookie has a specific pet that is more or less theirs. And GingerBrave's is Choco Drop. So let's check out his story. A sweet friend made with 100% cocoa. Of all the bizarre ingredients in the witch's cupboard, cocoa may be the most ordinary. Yeah, it's kind of strange. Wouldn't you think a witch would have stuff like, I don't know, Eye of Newt, ground up frog's hair, something like that, but I don't know, she probably does have that stuff. Like they said, that was her most mundane ingredient. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hop into the actual stage. Did someone say run? So, as I mentioned before, this is an endless runner style game. So, cookies will run automatically from left to right on their own, no input needed or anything like that. The only thing that I have control over is the ability to jump, and you can indeed double jump by pressing the button twice, or you can slide. And I don't really want to miss some jelly, so I'll show you like this. There you go. So, it kind of lets you duck under certain obstacles, and occasionally the slide button will be used for other important background elements, stuff like that, when the need arises. So the goal is, if you notice at the very top of the screen, there's that orangish yellow bar. That is your energy meter. When that hits 0, your run is over. Your cookie is out of energy, can't run anymore, too tired, must bake. Anyways, so since stages kind of loop, they don't end, and the stage really ends when you run out of energy. The actual goal is to score as many points as you can. You do that by collecting jellies. You see all sorts of basic jellies, kind of bear-shaped jellies. You got coins, you got gold coins, you got special ability jellies, you got jellies with shrimp, you got jelly sandwiches, you got jelly omelets, jelly gumbo. That's about it, really. But no, there legitimately is all kinds of jellies. Basic jellies are the least valuable, and then yellow bears, pink bears, I think frozen bears come after that, and then, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. It's based on the size and kind of how intricate the color is, you can kind of tell what's more valuable than other stuff. But as far as coins go, they are actually the least valuable. They're not worth much at all on their own, but coins are like the in-game currency of this game. So you'll still definitely want to collect a lot of coins if you want to unlock a new cookie or level one up, stuff like that. But if you're just going for score, definitely prioritize jellies over coins. Now, as you can see, the stage is obviously pretty easy. Like I mentioned, it's more or less the tutorial to the game. It's just meant to introduce you to the concept of running, jumping, and sliding. Now, you may have noticed some special jellies along the way that I collected. Stuff that made GingerBrave giant, or move fast, or turn obstacles into coins. So there's all sorts of special kinds of jellies that you can collect that'll mix up the gameplay just a little bit. But speaking of gameplay, and mixing it up, let's actually take a look at what it's like to... Oh, hello, new daily missions. I'm going to ignore those for now. I can go over that kind of stuff later. But before I was rudely interrupted by Cinnamon Cookie there, I was saying let's go ahead and take a look at what it's like to play a cookie that has an actual special ability. Because cookies do in fact have special abilities, and that's kind of what makes the game so fun, trying out all sorts of different cookies. So we're going to hop one step over to the left to Hero Cookie. Now, for those of you who may know, I love Sentai, Power Rangers, Justice-y, cheesy, that kind of stuff. So, as a result, Hero Cookie is one of my favorite cookies. He is a nerd of some sort, but he actually has the ability to transform into a superhero. So, we'll take a look and see what that does in-game in a minute, but for now, let's see his backstory. While the other cookies escaped the hot oven one by one, this cookie remained inside, lost in his research. He was brilliant enough to finally succeed in building an ultimate escaping machine, the Caramel Syrup Suit. The suit is optimized for escape with a rechargeable candy engine as its core source of energy. Now the only task left is to continue his studies to reduce Candy Engine's recharge time. Very useful indeed. But his pet is even more useful in my opinion, the Jellico Cube. This thing will launch missiles every so often, which will destroy obstacles and produce jellies from the fallout. The latest innovation in escaping technology, the Jellico Cube releases powerful Jellico missiles collected from jellies. Hurry and witness the sophisticated Jellico missile system. You've never seen anything like it. And if I'm not mistaken, that sounds like a reference to the Mighty Morphin theme song. But, of course, I could be wrong. Now, for those of you who are observant enough, you may notice that over to the right side of the screen it says, which treasures to use? I didn't discuss that when I was in GingerBrave's trial because I used very basic treasures, but each cookie combination can also equip 3 treasures at a time. And I've decided to use a couple different ones here just to show off some different kinds of treasures. They're all kinds, and that's another layer of replayability to this kind of game. All the different combinations you can come up with. Escape plan ready, execute! It's morphin' time! Alright, so as you can see, when Hero Cookie is in his super mode, or blast mode, whatever you want to call it, he is able to fly freely, and he moves faster and is completely invincible. So that's one other thing I should mention. Whenever you are invincible, or whenever you destroy obstacles with some other kind of special ability, you usually score points for it. So that's another way of increasing your score. However, in my experience, it is almost always better to collect jellies over destroying obstacles. Some cookies are designed for destroying obstacles. Like, that's what they do, that's who they are. In those situations, yeah, it's more worth it to destroy obstacles, but but for the most part, definitely prioritize jellies over obstacle destructions. Now, you may also notice some of these weird mint green looking jellies that Hero Cookie is collecting every so often. And again, if you put those peepers to use and are observant enough, you'll see that green bar over his head. It's draining while his skill is in use, and when it's not in use, it charges up. As you might expect, it's basically an indicator that shows you when Hero Cookie is ready to digivolve. Okay, not really digivolve, but you know what I mean. Basically, mint jellies will increase it by a small little chunk every so often whenever he collects them. This is actually part of his magic candy ability. And so, certain cookies have a magic candy, which is more or less a way to upgrade their pre-existing abilities, or in rare situations, give them a completely new ability on top of what they already have. So magic candies are actually really important for kind of the meta, but you know, for those of you just kind of playing the game for fun, you usually don't need magic candies. Most of them just increase the points you score by using the cookie, so they're a little boring in that sense, but certain cookies like Hero Cookie I think are definitely valuable. Thank you, Crowder, for finally stopping. I didn't want to say anything because it was a little awkward, and you know, addressing the elephant in the room is always a little awkward. But anyways, I appreciate that. But guys, we've kind of reached the end of Hero Cookie's trial here, which means we've also reached the end of the video. I'm going to keep this first episode kind of short and sweet, just like cookies, you know, shortbread. Okay, bad jokes aside. Anyways, we'll get more into the story and just more of what this game can offer in the next episode. So, I hope you guys are kind of interested by this concept. This is definitely one of my favorite games, and I've put a lot of time into it. So, I definitely want to share this experience with you all. So, as always, I appreciate you all giving this video a watch, and if you will, stay tuned for the next one. Until then, have a blessed day.